The European Commission has already taken some actions, which means that they have planned to reduce the use of gas by 15% until March 2023. And this is one of the first actions. The second one is, of course, that they also try to get more gas from other countries to Europe. In general, the actions taken are, I think, a good way that we can go forward also to use other sources, which means especially renewables, to become CO2 neutral in 2050. Yeah, with the current situation, the industry has really to look into new technologies, how to overcome the gas supply, which is now reduced, especially from Russia. And their solar heat especially could play a big role in that way, that especially if there are applications in industry available in temperature levels between 60 to 200 degrees Celsius, solar thermal collectors can easily provide this kind of energy, and with that replace other sources like gas or oil as well. And with that, I'm quite optimistic that this kind of technology can play a big role in the future. But what to know is that, especially with the high upfront costs, it's probably necessary to implement funding schemes in Europe to push this kind of technology also from an economical point of view. And just to give you an idea, in Germany we have already a subsidy funding there in place with 50% on the investment costs. And maybe that's something which should be, from a political point of view, be all over across Europe implemented to really push such technology in industry. In total, we have 3 different kinds of sources available. Of course, first of all, solar again, but also geothermal and biomass. Each of them, there are different kinds of technologies available on the market. Depending if we are talking about new buildings or existing buildings, there are different kinds of solutions available. One of the major solutions, which is probably the one which will be playing a big role in future, are heat pumps, which can use either air or groundwater, or also the soil as a heat source. If you're using heat pumps, then you have some differences between new and existing buildings, depending on the temperature levels for your heating system, which means existing buildings usually have radiators with higher temperatures up to 70 degrees Celsius necessary, and new buildings with low temperature heating systems with 40 to 45 degrees Celsius. And therefore, especially for the higher heating temperatures, it's necessary to develop new machines, new heat pumps, which are also using nowadays natural refrigerants, which is by law, by the F-gas regulation necessary here in Europe. Yeah, solar cooling is one of the other topics, not only heating, but cooling as well, especially also in Europe, as we have all seen rising temperatures in summer times. And therefore, solar HVAC could also play a big role, which means especially PV cooling, so the combination of PV installations with heat pumps, but also solar thermal collectors with thermally driven systems. And these kind of systems have quite higher EERs, so energy efficiency ratios, than conventional grid-driven split units. There we come up to numbers over 10. And with that we can save a lot of CO2 emissions, first of all, but also energy, which is also important nowadays with all the problems we have in the supply of gas, oil and so on.